In this video, we are covering the difference between the proxy and the reverse proxy servers because these terms are getting used quite often while designing or architecting a distributed system. So the simple purpose of a proxy server is to conceal the identity of the client from the content provider, which also means that the target server, which can be an application server or a web server or a file server, won't be able to know the source of origination of an HTTP request. Using the proxy server, there is no direct communication take place between the client and the target server, as the proxy servers works as a gateway between the client and the target. There are various reasons why proxy servers are getting used by individuals or by organizations. Individuals use proxy servers for personal purpose such as private browsing, for watching movies, doing shopping, listening music, etc. Organizations, on the other hand, uses proxy servers for improving the security of their internal servers or services which they are offering, also for logging all the traffic to identify any patterns for analytical purpose, and they also use to control the website access to their employees from browsing any inappropriate or distracting websites. Some organizations block social media sites like Instagram, Facebooks, and others to remove any time wasting temptations. Organizations also use proxy servers for caching the content to save the bandwidth, etc. So, if you work for any organization and you may want that people don't know the database that you're currently searching or the people that you're currently talking on any messenger application, so in those cases, the proxy servers are getting used to shield the end user identity. So in summary, the proxy server is a dedicated server on the internet that has an IP address of its own. And the main purpose of the proxy server is to prevent cyber attackers from entering a private network and also to filter out user requests or block access to certain content of the web page. Proxy can be set up using a hardware or using a software version. While using a proxy, your internet request goes to your ISP. First, it goes to ISP provider as usual. Then the request is being sent to the proxy server, and then by passing the firewall, it will be get sent to the target server. So along the way, the proxy uses the IP address you choose to set up, and it will mask your real IP address. So in this case, instead of 10.11.12.18, the IP address which will be get sent to the target server is 20.1.9.16. And if you are not using the proxy server, then in those cases, the request of your IP address will be same, which is being sent as an HTTP request to the target server. So 10.11.12.13. Okay, so please note that the proxy server doesn't encrypt the data which is transmitted between the client and target server, which in somehow put some kind of risk, as the hacker will be able to intercept these requests and they can use it for man in middle attacks and for other malicious purposes as well. The next topic which we are covering is reverse proxy. So as the name suggests, reverse proxy does the opposite of what proxy server used to do, which is instead of concealing details of the client, the reverse proxy conceal the details of the target server through which the service request got fulfilled. In some simple words, the reverse proxy server hides information of the final server that served the request of the client. So in this case, if we have three application servers and the response will be get provided back from server one, then the reverse proxy server will hide the information about the application server one, and it provide the generic response rather than providing the information of the target server which has provided that information. So reverse proxy server can prevent internet clients from gaining direct unmonitored access to the confidential data that resides on the target server in an isolated private network or on the internet. Unlike a proxy server, which sits in front of a client, a reverse proxy server is positioned in front of the web servers or the application servers, usually your target servers, and then forward request from a client browser to the target server. It works by intercepting requests from the user at the network edge of the web server. It then sends the request to and receive replies from the target server. So this is how we have covered the proxy and reverse proxy. Thank you.